Tonshikyo Mara Dishnakashun. Hello everyone, my name is Mara. I am the program manager at North Island Métis Association, and today I'm going to show you how to bead on your beading loom. A previous video that Jackie had done showed how to thread your loom, so this loom has already been threaded, and as you can see I have started beading on it already. All you need is your loom that has been threaded with the correct number of strings. You want one more string than the number of rows of beads. So my pattern has 9 rows of beads, so there are 10 strings on it. I have my size 10 beads also out, the colors that I'm using for this project. And then I have a beading needle and some Nymo thread that I have tied just to one of the strings. I've put one knot in, and that is it. So you can see on my pattern, I have a sticky note, which can be really useful to keep track of where you were on your last row or where you're going to start from on your next one. So you can see now I require 3 reds, a blue, a white, a blue, and then 3 more reds. So I'm going to pick those up in that order. So I'm going to start with my 3 reds, and then I need blue, white, blue, and then 3 more reds. So my beads are on here. So you can see those. What I'm going to do is I'm going to slide those down my thread. And I'm going to put my needle underneath all of the warp threads on the loom. So I'm going to just pull it all the way through. And this will allow me to line up each of the beads between 2 threads. So you can see they've all lined up in between. So I've got one thread underneath all the threads, and now I'm going to push my needle back through on the top though. So now I'm going to have one thread underneath, and then I'm going to go one thread over top through all the beads and pull it tight. And now I've got a row on there. So now I'm moving up on my pattern, and on my pattern now I need 4 reds, a white, and then 4 reds. There are lots of places that you can find patterns. You can find them just by a Google search. You can purchase patterns off Etsy or through other Indigenous artists. There's also some apps that you can use to make your own that work great, that are free. So I've put my next 9 beads on here, and I'm going to go underneath my loom. And put one bead in between each of the threads and push them up. And then I'm going to go back through. Now, if at some point in time you run out of thread, you can finish it off by just applying some clear nail polish. So before you pull your thread all the way through, apply some clear nail polish and then finish pulling the thread through, and that will harden and that thread won't go anywhere. And then the same thing when you add your new thread, pull it almost all the way through while leaving a tail, and add some nail polish onto the last little bit so that the part that goes through the beads has nail polish, and that will hold it in place and not have knots all along your work. So it'll just have a more professional finished look. So I will do one more row just to show you one more time. So now I need 1 red, 1 green, 5 reds, 1 green, 1 red. When I was first shown how to loom bead, I was not told how. I was just given a loom and told to put 4 beads on however I wanted. And we were in a race, and no one knew how to thread a bead on a loom, and so there were some very interesting ways. Then we were shown how to loom bead, and it is quite simple. We made it much more complicated on ourselves. So I've got my 9 beads on, needle underneath my work, one bead between each thread, and then the thread over top, or the needle over top through all the beads again. And so I will just continue following my pattern until I get to the end. If I run out of space at any point in time, which I know I will with this pattern, because this pattern is longer than the loom is. It's slightly enlarged, but I will need more space. What I will do is I will apply a piece of leather or felt underneath my beadwork, and you can loosen it off slightly. So I will loosen this side by unrolling it just a little bit, and then I'll tighten it on this side, and I'll keep doing that until I shuffle all the beadwork down enough to keep going. But make sure that you've got something protecting your beads from the springs on this end. So put a piece of felt or leather between the springs and your beadwork. If you have any questions, please comment, and I can always do a follow-up video. Kłapamatin Mina, see you again, and merci for watching.